And we can see the lower city down here and the higher wall city. And let's get in a little bit tighter. Okay, and let's say that this is going to be where our tour will start. So we now need to place a place mark here. So we go up to this push pin, add the place mark, and we'll call this Quebec City. And to get rid of this flashing mark and the title, we'll go here to the style and color and enter 0 for both values and say OK. And there we are. Now we have the mark Quebec City that is nested within our folder. Next place that we want to go is New York City. So we will type New York City into the search bar. And once again, let the program do all the work for us. To get rid of that, we click X. We're going to zoom in even more. Fantastic. Tilt this up a bit. And zoom in. Notice that I have the 3D representations of the buildings shown here. And you can get those by just turning on or off this button right here that says 3D buildings. If I take it off, we go flat. Not very impressive. So let's click it and engage the 3D buildings. Wonderful. Next step is to add a place mark, and we'll call this New York City, and say OK. So make sure that that New York City does in fact nest in our folder. And look at that, we've got to change the order slightly, put Quebec City on top of that one. And there it is. Okay, next, we're ready to create our tour. To do that, we go up to this button up here, which says Record a Tour, and we click on it, and we open up this window here for recording a tour. And we're going to start back at Quebec City, so I'll click back on the Quebec City link here, and yep, that was our first image. And we'll start recording our tour right now. So here we go. That's 1 second, 2 seconds. You can see the number of seconds we're on the image. Next, let's go to New York City. Click on New York City. And we go right to that last image. Fantastic. And we'll stop the tour right here. Next, we need to save that tour. So we'll go to the save icon and save this as Quebec to New York City. And the first part is done. We've made our tour. The next part involves creating a movie. Let's shut this down. To create the movie, we need to go up to Tools and go to Movie Maker. And notice that Movie Maker has already preloaded that tour that we just saved right here. And we're going to want to set the resolution. We'll leave that at 800 by 600. But as you can see, you've got quite a few choices. And we'll set this to 30 frames per second to get a smooth movement. Then we need to save this. And let's see, where are we going to save this? You know what? We'll save it under Viking Canada Cruise. Sounds good. Save that. And it will save as movie.wmv. And we can always change that later. And you know what? We'll change the name of the movie right now so we don't get confused when we look for it. And we'll call that Quebec to New York City. And then we just click on Create Movie. And the movie gets compiled by the program. You can see it right here. And you can see here the movement which is being saved now as frames for an animation. And it takes a little bit longer when you engage 3D buildings because remember the program needs to generate what these 3D buildings look like. Okay. And our recording is done. Do you want to watch the movie? Sure. Let's see what we did. We'll click yes. And here's our movie. It begins up in Quebec City. And we're going to fly out of it today. Oh, there it is. And we're flying down to New York. And the movie is complete.
Okay, here's an option for getting a good smooth recording in Google Earth Pro. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the recording option with the Movie Maker. Okay, and rather than saving it to these formats, you're going to want to select Advanced. Variable length is fine. Your recording is an image stream. It's going to be set to this, I believe, by default. You're going to want to record it as an image stream. Variable length is fine. Okay. Now what you want to do is this is going to create hundreds and hundreds of still images. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a folder available to you already on your desktop or wherever you're going to put it. I'm calling this one Westland Bowling because I'm going to zoom into the Westland Bowling Alley in the United States. I'm going to click on this file. And I'm just going to let it be called Movie. Well, you know what? I'll call it Westland Bowling. What the heck? Okay, I'm going to hit Save. I'm going to create the movie. I've already got Westland Bowl typed in up here. Okay. One other thing is I have my settings for speed. Let me do this real quick. Under Options, for navigation, I have my speed set to 0820. That seems to be a pretty good speed. Okay, you're going to want to do that. It's under your navigation tab. Now let's go back to the Movie Maker. We're already set up. I'm going to create the movie. This is a trial version. I'm not going to spend $400 for Google Earth myself. I don't have that much use for it. Okay, I'm recording. Click the search bar to get started. Okay, it is now recording the image. Can you see how it's kind of jittering along? But it's doing a very good job of capturing this. I'm now going to pause Camtasia. Okay, that's close enough for me. I'm going to simply stop recording. Close Google Earth because I'm done. Okay, now watch this. We're going to come over. Where is that folder? Westland Bowling. I'm going to open this up. Okay, this is how many images we have recorded. (1,462 images. Okay. Now you're going to have a video editor that is capable of importing an image sequence.